Maintenance man here at Mr. Dog Poop Studios. This week, my boss, Mr. Dog Poop, he went out and bought this stool for $1 because it's broken. Of course, he wants me to fix it. So, I'm going to show you how to do it. As you can see, this is broken. Your first inclination might be, let's flip it over, put a board across the bottom, put some screws in it, and hold it back together. That's not what we're going to do. Another idea might be, well, let's drill some pilot holes in here and put some screws in and screw it back together. We're not going to do that either. If you look at the wood, it's separate pieces all glued together. And this broke right on the glue. All we need to do is put glue in here and put it back together. So let's talk about the kind of glue we should use for our project. This is epoxy. Epoxy is one part of A, one part of B. We mix them together, completely dry in 30 minutes, cured to full strength in 8 hours. So that's a fast solution. It's also not water soluble. The typical glues like the Elmer's wood glue and the Tight Bond, they do say water resistant, but they do break down in water. So if you're using it on a cutting board or something that's going to be in a wet situation, stay away from these glues. The Gorilla Glue, I like the urethane glue. It's a little messy and tough to clean up, and it foams. And the biggest problem with this is after a couple months, it's solid. While these are probably 2 years old, these are probably 3 years old, and they're still good. So $10, $4 or $5 for some of these glues. They all will work. Just decide for your application which you think is the best. So I have a piece of paper on the floor so we don't drip glue on Mr. Dog Poop's floor. And we're going to put our glue into the crack and then clamp it together with some clamps. And we already figured out what we needed for clamps and where we needed to put them. But basically, we're just going to put these clamps on, clamp it back together, wipe it off, and then tomorrow, it's going to be good as new. Here's our urethane glue. We're going to put a generous amount in the crack. Kind of work it a little bit. We can get the glue down through. Put another. We can always wipe the glue off. We can't put extra glue in after we clamp it together. So that's way too much glue. It's going to come out. You can see the glue is now in there. And even if we go to the bottom, it should be coming through the bottom. But I don't want to turn it over. Make sure we're in there. Then I'm going to take these pipe clamps, and these are large ones. You don't need them this large. You see, as we clamp it together, we want to get it as tight as possible. We're going to come across this way, tighter, close up that gap, and then I'm going to come underneath here, squeeze this together. You can see there's glue dripping out the bottom. We're going to go ahead and wipe off all the excess. And unfortunately, the urethane glue is not water-based, so you can't just put water on it and wash it off, but you can wipe it off pretty good and it'll dry hard. Now, this glue will foam, which is a problem, and it may require a little bit of sanding when we take it apart tomorrow. Let me flip it over and check the bottom, and you'll see the glue is coming right completely through the bottom. And the bottom isn't going to be that important because you're not going to see it. Again, just clean up the top. More than likely, we'll have to hit it with some sandpaper to sand down the glue, but you can see that crack with the clamps on it is almost gone. If you come back an hour from now, this may have some, this glue does foam, but it is so nice, so strong. It's not water soluble. You leave this thing outside, it's gonna be fine. We got a $1 million stool for $1. And by tomorrow, when this glue dries, this will be a brand new stool. Moment of truth. It's been 24 hours, and we're gonna go ahead and take these clamps off. So we do have some of the foam coming out. As I said, if you're worried about the foam, if you're doing something that you don't want to finish, then use one of the other glues. In this case, a little piece of sandpaper. It's going to take care of that. We're going to paint this. It's not a problem. Again, on the top, if you sand it down, you're not going to see it. So we'll sand that whole thing down, and we'll probably paint it. But the question is it strong? Is it back together? Yes. You sit on it, and it's not breaking. Put some weight on it. It's solid. So a little bit of foam on the bottom that came out, but we got a very expensive stool for $1 because it was broken, and all we had to do was glue it back together. Maybe you have a stool or a table or a cutting board or anything that has come apart on the glue, glue it back together, a couple clamps, it's good as new. It's good for what we need it for, and we only paid $1. So, another project down. Time for another beer. Let's just fill up the fucking hard drives with useless crap.
Well, it's not my fault.
Running around for 10 minutes with the cameras recording? Yes, it is.